Hello, everybody. I am very happy to be here with such an audience. Well, we are not yet facing such linguistic problem. We enjoyed the maple lunch, but I am confident, I was told so, that Maple TA can manage also character languages, though the presentation today will show examples in European foreign languages for Italian. Well, automatic assessment for learning languages is a challenge. As it happens, anytime a teacher wants to adopt online exercise to be corrected automatically, and has to decide how many times to allow the students approach the exercise, how long he or she can try a test online. But the main point is how to attribute points, score, not only to the right answer, but also to less correct one, because in linguistic matter, it's not always a matter of correct and incorrect. We started 2 years ago with a project for students from abroad interested in attending MA courses at the University of Torino, MA courses given in Italian, and so we tried to facilitate the inclusion of these students and help them in their university career, especially in overcoming language problems that they may encounter in academic Italian language, to reduce dropout or exam failures, and to attract good students from abroad. We faced the usual problem, which was just now mentioned by John, and it is that we didn't want it to fill up too much the space of the question. But when you are doing listening or reading comprehension, you need to have a text to be read on which to give a question. And we also wanted them to have the text as a whole, while formulating the exercise, we were obliged to facilitate, because we introduced in the question just the portion of text which was useful to answer that question, which is not generally done in university level reading comprehension, where the student is supposed to find on his own the place in the text where the good stuff to answer the question is. Well, with this new project, which is called Explore Digital Dictionary, we decided to put in the question just the necessary material, also because they have already to go elsewhere to find the text which helps them to answer the question. In the slide, there is the overall instruction to answer a question on Maple. Then they face usual type of exercise, like fill in the blanks question. This is, for instance, I just explained you because I bet you can't read it, a Spanish exercise done by Bermejo, who is present, whose solution implies, with a pop-up, the lookout of Dizionario della Real Accademia, which is online. And it is a question which obliges the student of Spanish, Italian student of Spanish, but maybe also a Spanish student of Italian, to reflect on the similarity and sometimes the cheating similarities between Spanish and Italian on what is derivational form and the function of the most common derivative suffixes. This is a different type of fill-in-the-blank question done by Torino about collocation in English, where it is suggested to go and find solution in dictionaries, but as a matter of fact, the student who feels confident might answer without looking, and maybe he will be wrong. For instance, we have two answers which are not right. One saying that when you have an illness, you can find a medicament who treats your illness, while the student put overcome, and another one, the work a solution while he may find a solution, which could be also okay. So what is important here is to give also the reason why your answer can't be acceptable, because this is a collocation exercise, which means that it is not only a question of semantics, because find and overcome might go for semantics, but they don't go for usage in English about collocation. And what is interesting in Mapletia, as everybody has already told, that you can store the answer, and the teacher can take advantage of this storage in order to refine the comment to the non-correct answer. We had, in the beginning, a discussion about introducing part of a dictionary entry in the question, and here you have one example, or just have only outside consultation of dictionary. We maintain dictionary entry inside the question just in few cases where we really wanted people to make some consideration about the peculiar form of this entry. For instance, the Dizionario dell'uso di Tullio De Mauro has a peculiar feature, which is to attribute a usage label to each meaning of a polysemous entry. So we reproduce the entry, is campo, by the way, and we took off the usage label, and we ask the student to replace it. In this case, we couldn't do but introduce entry in the question. But for most of the question, there is a pop-up entry, and therefore, the dictionary has to be looked up outside. Also, recently was mentioned the advantages or disadvantages of a printing question, because let's suppose the usual environment. The teacher brings the class in the lab, information lab, and they have computer with a similarly large screen. They sometimes, if they are allowed, use also a cell phone, and they generally have questions on the screen, and they look up word reference or Google or the dictionary we suggest to see what the entry can give them as an help. So some teacher thinks that it would be easier to have the dictionary on the screen and the question on print paper. We try to not have this solution because we fear that the upload of answer given offline in Mapletia generate many errors, apart from the fact that to ask the students to transfer this manually after having explained him that it is a new thing, innovative, to be done online, is rather queer. We have these various parts in our platform. As we said, in the 2 years ago project, which is still online, it was more like a course, and there were questions on this course, while for the moment, Esplora Dizionari Digitali is more a set of questions with some aids. There is a glossary of terms like entry, acceptation, or discrimination, mark or label of usage and so on, which we used in preparing question in order not to have too long text in the question. And we also put in this open access part short presentation of online dictionary, as they are now, but this is also a problem because they are changing and they are getting better with the time, so it might be very easy that if you prepare a presentation of an online dictionary 6 months after they have done some change, so we try to be very, very schematic on this. But we need to do this because we discovered that present day students at the age of 15 may not have in their hand a paper dictionary, never before. They are accustomed to look up in word reference. They find one word, one translation, or one explanation. They have no idea of what is a linguistic database such as dictionary is. So it's better to explain to them that though the online free dictionary allow just one word at a time, and in some happy cases, wild character answer like question mark or star, there is a database behind, and they should know what they get from a database according to the type of query they do. So we also have to persuade their teacher that their students don't know what a dictionary is, and if they want to have good answer, they should spend some time to explain to them that even though the free online dictionary looking up gives very short thing, there is behind a system that the student should know. So what we are going to do next, we will try to improve exercises through the non-correct answer, which are very surprising sometimes, but always very interesting. I will just do a small example. Italian has borrowed from Latin in different ages. There is an oral tradition, so that gold is oro, but the adjective for gold is aureo. The oral tradition gives ebony, avorio, but the learned tradition make the adjective eburneo. So we built an exercise asking for piombo, give us the adjective for piombo, and we were thinking of plumbeo. But someone answered piombato, and we were obliged to consider that there was some reason in this answer, so we changed the grading of our answer, and we said, you can also answer piombato. We will give you a little less score, minor score, than if you give us plumbeo, but we can't say that piombato isn't an adjective derived from piombo. It is not the learned one. So we are learning from this, and we hope to develop a template for multiple choice, filling the blank, matching scrambled text, which teacher might fill with a lexical and textual material they prefer, above all if they want to do specialized language lesson. And we also should like to simplify the task of reading the exercise and answering online while looking up word in an online digital dictionary. So we are thinking of partitioned screen, which the student already finds partitioned and has not to create it on his own, and also to discuss about void, color, and what is a more accessible way of giving question. And last but not least, my idea is that this exercise should improve query literacy, because with online free dictionary, as I have already told, there are few opportunities to do this wildcard no more. With dictionaries you subscribe, there are more query filters to explain and to exploit. And dictionary in such a case reveal their true nature, and they are database, and they are an ideal training field for students who are learning how to query databases of different type. And since our publishing houses are developing a policies of distributing dictionary free to the teacher, I hope that at least teacher will learn how to formulate a question which imply filter in query and use it, for instance, on the whiteboard in the class in order to train students to do this, even though with this exercise, which are based on free dictionary online, can't be practiced. Thank you.